Hey, how you doing this morning? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And what you were listening to is my new old radio. Yep, I got another radio. Um, I got a couple of comments over the months. Why do you have so many radios? Why do you have to have so many radios? Well, the main reason is I get these radios to review on my YouTube channel, and I keep the radios because sometime later, maybe even a year later, somebody will see one of my videos on a particular radio and they'll ask me a question about it, and I may not know the answer offhand. So I have to go get the radio and try it so I can give them an answer. So I have to keep the radios. That's why I have so many radios. And I have hundreds of radios. So, yeah, it's exorbitant, but it's just part of the show, you know. You understand now? Okay, moving on. So this weekend, actually Friday, I went to a small ham fest with a friend of mine, um, and he was planning on, which I didn't know until later, on selling something. So he had a reserved table, and by having a reserved table, you can get in early for setup, and you can see other people's setup before everybody else does, the general audience that shows up. So I got to look around ahead of time. Well, within 15 minutes, I found this radio, and it was one of my radios on my list to find because it is a unique radio. It's not the best radio in the world for shortwave listening, but it's a neat radio, and you'll see later. So it was in pristine, or it is in pristine condition, and the seller was somebody I knew, and it was somebody that puts reasonable prices on his radios and stuff, and he's into electronics, so he knows how to fix them if they're broken or they need adjustment. So you could always depend on him to get a good radio at a reasonable price. It won't be a bargain necessarily, but it's a reasonable price. Okay, so much for babbling. Let's get to the radio. And I'm going to do this in two parts. This part is the screen capture part to show you what the radio is. And then I'll use my webcam, no, not my webcam, scratch that. Use my video camera to actually show you physically the radio I have. So that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Now, I was looking for just some information about this radio. Specifically, one thing I was looking for is when it was sold. So I went to this website, RadioShackCatalogs.com, all lowercase, all one word. And they have most, if not all now, the catalogs from Radio Shack that they've scanned in, and they've done a fantastic job of scanning them in. And you can look through those catalogs. And so it took me a while to figure out what catalog this radio was in, because it turns out they only sold it for a couple of years. And it turns out it was, I believe, 1981, 1982, and 1983. So I looked over a lot of catalogs and I couldn't find it. Finally, I found via Google, I found somebody that said when these were manufactured and when they were sold. So here's the catalog of the catalogs that you can look at here on this website. And here's the radio. This is the 1981 catalog. And here's the radio right here. It's the Realistic DX-200. So now I have the 100, the 302, and now I have the 200. So I've got all three of these radios now. And this one that I got, like I said, is in pristine condition. It looks brand new, nice and shiny and pretty. There's no scratches. There's no lettering missing or anything. This is a 5-band receiver. It's continuous receive with the caveat that there's 5 bands that you have to select. So you can't tune all the way from the lowest frequency to the upper. You have to go through the various bands and using the band selector. And it's got 5 positions. What else? Oh, let me tell you about the frequencies that it covers. It covers long wave, medium wave, and short wave from 0.15 megahertz or 150 kilohertz to 300 megahertz. Now the lower bands, the long wave band only goes up to 400 kilohertz, and then the medium wave band is 520 to 1600 kilohertz. And then the shortwave band is 1.5 megahertz to 30 megahertz. It also has single sideband reception. And it has a bunch of other dials and doodads that I'll show you when I show the video of the actual radio that is mine. Okay, that's about it. You can see here, it originally sold for $229. Kind of, medium price range for these kinds of radios. Now you can see at the same time, the newer one at that time sold for $400. So this one was quite a bit cheaper. This has a digital display up here. This one is all analog. It has a dual dial, I'll call it, in that this is the main tuning up here on the top, and then this is the band spread at the bottom. Okay, so I think that's about it. I don't know if anything else I want to say at this time. Next up, I'll try to do the actual view of my radio. So if you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.